I've got a small property company. I went to a broker, and the broker told me that in order to access the money, you've got to be a shareholder in my company. But the plus side is you'll get dividends from our company. So you don't pay a fee.
So you've got to be a shareholder in the broker's company.
That's right, in the broker's company.
That sounds unusual.
Yeah, it does sound a bit unusual because I'm not new to this game. I didn't really know whether this. I just thought you get dividends. Perhaps it's an attractive thing. So he did get me an offer which I had agreed on, but then it didn't come through, and he blamed it on COVID. And I actually went to that company myself, and I was able to get a deal from them. They were quite happy to lend me directly. But obviously I paid £7,500 to this broker. So I really thought I wanted to get it.
When you say you paid it, do you mean you bought £7,500 worth of shares?
Yes, I bought. Yeah. That's right.
And you still own those shares?
I still own the shares, but I haven't seen any dividends at all from it. I haven't seen any return.
Is there a shareholders agreement, Michael?
I believe so. I think I've seen my name on Companies House, so I know that it is listed on Companies House.
Right. Did you sign a shareholders agreement?
I don't recall, to be honest. I don't recall. I'm not even sure, to be honest.
Okay. I mean, this sounds bizarre, and it sounds. I'm not going to call it a scam because I think that's putting it a little too high. But it's certainly a deeply unusual business practice to require a potential customer, which is what you were for a mortgage broker, to require a potential customer to take shares in the company in order for the company to do business with it. To me, that sounds a little bit like an ailing mortgage broker who's struggling to pay their salary bills. Trying to eke some cash out of you quickly and
right.
cheaply. Now, the difficulty you have, Michael, is unless you can show that let me rephrase that. Although it's unusual, it's not illegal. It's a contract. They offered you shares, you bought them. So unless you can show you were misled in some way, it's going to be very difficult to unravel that transaction.
I can't prove it, but he told me that the way they work is the lenders they work with, they lend to them. So you've got to be part of them in order to access the money. That's how he sold it to me, that they work with a specific group of lenders, and those lenders will lend to them. They will lend to me directly. And therefore, if you're part of us, you can access that money.
Yeah, I mean, that just doesn't sound credible because
right.
If the loan is to them, they would be taking on personal liability for your loan, which sounds bonkers. Why would they do that? Unless what they're saying is they get funding and they then loan you the money in turn.
No, it wasn't that. It's just that it is still in my name, but it's. In order to access that money, you need to be a shareholder in the company. Yeah. And I just want to know, have I just lost that money? Do I just kiss it goodbye?
I think it will be...
Is there anything I can do to try and get it back?
I don't want to say you have to kiss it goodbye, but you would need to bring a claim saying that you bought those shares because of misrepresentation and the broker misrepresented how the lending would work, because it does sound like a bizarre arrangement and doesn't sound true or credible to me.
Right.
But the problem is, to bring a claim for misrepresentation, you're probably going to need a lawyer. And if we're talking about a claim for £7,500, it's a small claim. Small claims are under £10,000, meaning you won't get your legal fees back. You don't have to have a lawyer, but it would be very complicated to do it without.
Right.
And if you're not going to get your legal fees back, you'll probably end up spending more on legal fees than you'd be able to recover if you got your £7,500 back.
Yeah.
So I think, Michael, you either do this yourself and you bring a claim for misrepresentation and try and unwind that shareholder sale, or you may just have to accept the fact that you made perhaps a poor business decision through inexperience, because you said you were new to it, and just recognise maybe one day you'll give a dividend, maybe one day they'll sell that company and you'll get a share of it, of the sale proceeds, and just let your shares sit there.